Hey guys, now I don't have an issue with all neurotypicals. It's just that those who are closest to me, those who are always like my best friends, those I could confide in, all this type of stuff, have always been neurodivergent. And the woman that I'm dating right now, she's neurodivergent. She's ADHD. So there's a lot of things I don't put on here. See, that's why I use examples from years ago, is because if I haven't been given the nod from these people to talk about whatever it is online, whether it be my friends, like those I catch up with outside of work, like Kayla and Jonathan, and occasionally Wanya, all the people I talk to at work, like Vanessa, Dorian, and other things. If they bring up anything, I don't talk about it on here because it's none of my business unless they give me the nod, and unless it's worth, the best thing to do is use examples from years ago so you don't affect people's lives. That's the best thing to do, because it's more of the same. The stuff that I face today is more of the same, but I know how to deal with it, and it's technically not the same environment because I'm in a different region or because I'm in a different workplace. But it is a lot better because it's not overtly bullying if you stand up for yourself in the workplace that I'm at, because in the workplace that I'm at, about half the people who work there, or half the people who are in management, have some sort of neurodivergency. Now, I'm an inclusive person, but then, there's terminology, so I'll just keep the terminology. The Asperger's I've always viewed that as high functioning autism, or Asperger's when it used to be. I just viewed it as, autism where it affects your social cues. You don't get the social cues. It's like, because it's not you don't get social cues, because when I'm hanging out with other neurodivergent people, whether they be ADHD, Asperger's, or autism, or whatever, I understand their body language perfectly well, and they understand my body language perfectly well, and we get each other's social cues. So it's like trying to thrive in this world is like being a fish, and the prerequisite to success is the climbing up a tree like a monkey. And there's a whole ton of monkeys, and you're a fish. Okay? So we have different skills and different abilities. So we're not lesser than. It's just the world doesn't cater to our skills and abilities. It caters to the skills and abilities of the majority, and if that's just not naturally how you're not wired, then you're at a huge disadvantage. But then they see you thrive at these other things and get jealous or get aggressive, or say, like, we're supposed to be superior to everything, and none of this matters and all this type of thing, and then berate you because you're doing better in small things like so you can sing and write songs and things like that. People used to go at me like that, but now they don't, because I stand up for myself. And not only do I stand up for myself, but I don't make money out of it. So, and a lot of the things with the music industry, it's who you know. See, I know that these beats that I'm making sounds a lot like some artists, but that's because when you jump onto Soundtrap, sound pucked up. When you jump onto Soundtrap, that's all been created by other people, but it's your job to select what, where, what effects to put on it, how long that beat goes for, which other beat you're going to overlay it. Are you going to overlay it or not? How many beats you're going to put in each song, all this type of thing. But all the stuff you're using was created by others. And I'm a singer and a songwriter and a rapper. So because no one let me come into their band. I mean, I did kapa haka and sang in the choir in church, like carols in the park and stuff. I was singing in the choir, but apart from that, I've never been in a band. Oh, I was in a band one time, but then like it lasted like 3 months, and then was it 3 months or 3 Saturdays? Anyway, years ago, and the people, and I was always putting it out there, but like people were saying, oh yeah, no, we'll practice singing, and then they get there the next week, they don't even remember the words, they're just hanging out or whatever. So now I understand now, it's fun, just wanted to hang out. And when I see these people now, like years, because they're back in, well, I knew them back in Hawke's Bay, I don't know where they are now, but we have good times, they're right. One of them was the one that said to me, oh, you're not invincible, but it was more out of concern that I needed to submit to authority or something, but I didn't really think about it much at the time. Oh, I just said to them, like, I know I knew I wasn't invincible, but I'm not going to sit down and be berated and stuff. And they didn't berate me. They jokingly said things, and then I joked them back, because we know what we find funny and what the other person finds funny, so we can joke about it. Like when I was a teenager, like I might buy them a couple of pies or something, and then later on they might buy me a couple of pies or something, and then, or we're like, oh no, they would have been like, like late teens, early 20s, for an example, when I was like that, just using these examples. And, yeah. They'll be like, oh, you want to go to this place? And I'll turn around and say no. Because I don't have, and then they'll be like, why? And they'll pester me, why? Not pester, but like, they'll do it jokingly, like, why is that? Why is that? Oh, you suck. But they're saying it with a smile on their face, so it's a joke. And that person, I'm pretty sure, has got ADHD. I just thought that, most of the world is just assholes, but you got to hang in there for the few that are good. That's, for the few that are good. But anyway, there's a few percentage. And then what happens is, this person would be like, oh, let's go to this place, and I'll be like, and then I'd say, oh, it's because I don't have any money and I can't afford to go there. Just ask. No. Because I do chores in order to get money to go to the bakery or something, or do chores to get money to spend on whatever, or save up, and then once a month head off to see some relatives in Whanganui or wherever. But yeah, the world's not made out for us, but we can still make it. Just not as much as we could. Not as much as nowhere near as much as if the world was working in our favor. But we are the minority. That's why we are neurodiverse. It's at least 90% of the population, or 85%, that's neurotypical. So the world caters to their way of functioning. It annoys me how some of them think that they're superior to us, and then they have all these results because of that. But then we try and be fish, trying to climb a tree. It doesn't work out, but then we find a way anyway. And then they say, oh, you took longer than us because we're more onto it than you are. And that just real pisses me off. And that reminds me of some relatives I have at Destiny Church and that too. But you know what? Once again, I'm living a good life. I'll get to live a good life.